Hello everybody, this is the final day of the PGL Major at Antwerp, and as such it is the final day of the HLTV recap show presented by GGBet. It's the final day, it's the day we've all been waiting for, Grand Final Sunday. Today we decide who the best team in the world is, but check out teams 3 through 8 for now. One of the final glimpses at this playoff bracket, FaZe, NAVI in our Grand Final. I didn't think you guys would need a schedule to check out, but just in case, it started at around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's get an update on the MVP race heading into the matchup. Obviously, Simple's performance in the semifinals yesterday puts him in pole position, but Rain, obviously on the other side for FaZe, is his main competition. Look at the semifinals FaZe had to go through. They had a badass one last night. They got pushed to the limit. Spirit gave them a stress test yesterday, and they did not break. Dust 2 went 3 OTs. It's got some rewatchability. Rain and Rops doing God's work for FaZe, topping the statistics chart. Rain, as we mentioned, in MVP contention. Rops has just, of course, been the perfect piece of the puzzle that FaZe has needed. He's showing it here. NAVI didn't get quite the same challenge in their semifinal. They kind of had an easy coasting on Nuke, and Dust 2 was never really in doubt up against Ents, but we've been watching them get better as the playoffs have gone on. Two obvious guys you have to mention. Bit was the #1 rated player for the majority of the major up until last night's semifinal when Simple overtook him with his own top-tier performance. Stories focused around two players today, Kerrigan and Simple. This is either going to be Kerrigan's first major and redemption for that painful Boston loss, or Simple's second, the capstone of an era, and Navi's swan song if the rumors are true. But we don't have to think about that anymore. Let's forget about it. Let's find out right now who the best is. Let's dive right in. If you thought this was going to be a back and forth brawl right out of the gates, you were wrong. That would come later. Early on, Simple and Navi were just desperate to hold on in the face of FaZe's offense. They could do nothing. A was exposed early. Boomich has 2 aggressive plays get shut down in the first 6 rounds of the half, giving up some critical rounds of the B bomb site as well. All told, this clutch from Twist would put FaZe up 8-0, and Twist ends the map with 23 kills. Finally, a little bit of life from Navi, provided by who else but Simple. Navi puts a dent in the FaZe lead, but no momentum is able to be built. Kerrigan called another masterclass on this Inferno T side and supplemented it with high-impact fragging. Navi's defense still struggling to hold on late in the half. Simple is so desperate to make plays, but it's going to end 10-5 to FaZe. He cannot do enough. Second half opens up in disaster for Navi. Rain gets an ace in the pistol, all 5 kills and some clutch ones at the end. He gets 22 frags in total, 1.25 rating when all is said and done on Inferno. At this point, you think it's likely over, but Navi start getting back in the game. Comeback powered by the 2 young guys, Bit and Perfecto, also the 2 guys who marked the rise of Navi last year leading into the Stockholm Major. They would end Inferno with 1.27 and 1.26 rating respectively, the 2 highest for their team. We're tied now at 13-13 all of a sudden. The Navi trading is just unbeatable at this point, and everyone starts thinking back. Everyone starts to get that eerie feeling of deja vu, that fateful day in Boston for FaZe on Inferno. Navi would have 2 chances to close the map in regulation, but remember I mentioned Kerrigan's impact fragging. He was everywhere, wherever FaZe needed him, whenever they needed him there. He'd have something to say in overtime as well. This triple kill merely keeps FaZe alive, merely gets them 1 step closer. Eventually here they force OT, Simple gets this entrance kill, and again, it all seems to be going wrong for FaZe, but Kerrigan's gonna step up one more time. He'd have something to say, and I'll pass it off to the casters for this one.
Navi's hopes and dreams with it. A couple of kills is all they need, and there's one. Simple, stubborn, Robs meets his fate, and is only broken to pull FaZe across the line. It's done!
Simple ended Inferno with 28 kills, but his impact seemed muted. We go to Nuke. Kerrigan and Rain are just 1 map away from redemption. CT side start helped FaZe dominate early once again. Everyone on FaZe kept up their level from Inferno. Rain has kept up his performance from day one. Another jaw-dropping performance for the Norwegian. There were some crazy clutches in the middle of this half that secured momentum through the rest of the half for FaZe. They seem to always come out on top, but none of them was more backbreaking than this one.
Last test for Robs in his ramp room, and already, and waiting, it's Robs on the double. And there's Kerrigan for good measure. Only Electronic can stand in their way of a 10th. Necessary damage done. Can they convert? Up against it, up against the ropes. Simple Electronic, though, not to be underestimated. Broki's off, is out of the round. Simple, he takes another, and no! The Flames! Twist will get it!
FaZe up 10-2 at one point. It was looking like a quick final, but Bit wanted an encore. Great Deagle shots provide a lifeline to his team. There's still a long way to go, but it is CT side nuke. And remember, historically, NAVI has been excellent on this map. They've had some very good runs on it. However, FaZe did not relinquish control whatsoever. Rain and Kerrigan, this was their major, and there were no questions about it. Again, another clutch, and this one I think was the final dagger. Electronic doing everything he can, but time is an opponent as well. NAVI is desperate, and I'll let Alex and Chad end the major yet again.
To gain access to a site, the options plentiful. And Rain, he's not done. He gets his 30, and FaZe 2 frags away. One more! They have done it! Ladies and gentlemen, your PGL Antwerp Major champions! Give it up for FaZe Clan!
FaZe are going to be our major grand champions, a 2-0 win over NAVI. And look at the stats for the winning team. Brokey and Rain today, both exceptional in every single way. What a start to the year for FaZe, but this victory was the sweetest of them all. Here's Kerrigan.
To be honest, never back down. Doesn't matter how hard life hits you. I've been benched a few times, came back. All I wanted in my life wanted to make history, that an international team won a major, and we did it in here!
Now Simple taking the loss like a champion. Lots of love and respect passed over to his opponents. Tough series for Simple, 45 kills and only a .89 rating. One of the lowest you'll likely ever see from Simple across an entire series. Back to Kerrigan again, another post-game interview reflecting upon that loss in Boston so many years ago, putting it in some context. He surely is stronger today as a player and as a leader, and what a cast he's got behind him, including this guy who's been by his side all along the way. Rain, major MVP. Look at all the leaderboards he topped in this event. He missed out on the stage at Katowice earlier this year, and he pretty much makes up for it with this showing. The PGL Major in Antwerp has concluded, and we have found our champion. Kerrigan and Rain have finally found redemption from the loss back in Boston. Twist becomes the 12th player ever to win both the Major and an Intel Grand Slam. And obviously, Brokey and Rops have the biggest win of their career. Let's take one last look, one final time at FaZe's run throughout the playoffs. FaZe, that 2-0 win in the Grand Finals, coming from the upper side of the bracket, NAVI from the lower. And this time, not a word from our sponsor, GGBet, but a thank you from me to them for helping us experiment with a new show idea and format. It's an idea I've been kicking around for a while, and I can only thank both HLTV and GGBet for being so enthusiastic, getting on board, and allowing us to make it happen. At the end of the show, our lovely editor, Jacob, what's up, Jacob? He's put together a slideshow of some of the great pictures and photographs taken by the HLTV photographers that have been on site in Antwerp throughout the entirety of the major, inside the Sports Palais Arena over in Antwerp as well. Make sure you stick around and check it out. Thanks everyone for tuning in throughout the major to this series. We'll see you around.
Esports is what we live and breathe. For us, it's more than a game. It's a reality, where a group of letters can mean everything. Where Mirage is a place for bombs, battles, and glory, not an illusion. Where the true heroes are those in front of the screen. GG Bet. This is real.